Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Real Sports Updates here. Back again with my live Super Bowl reaction. The game just finished. The Rams pulled it out 23-20. It was an excellent game. Very, very good game. And I think I predicted as such too. The Rams pulled it out really by the skin of their teeth. It was looking very, very bleak for them, but I'm going to get into it for a little bit, man. First off, I think everybody should credit the Cincinnati Bengals. They played a hell of a game. They had a hell of a playoff run. They did everything the right way, offensively, defensively. These guys were tough. You got to give Joe Burrow a lot of credit. You got to give Zach Taylor, the head coach, a lot of credit. These guys, they came out and they played their asses off every single game. And it literally came down to that last play, with 39 seconds left on the clock or whatever. And I predicted the situation in the previous video. I felt if the Rams were able to kind of do the same thing, and it's interesting that this game played out similarly to the NFC Championship when the Rams ended up scoring in a very crucial time with less than 2 minutes left on the clock. And then, it's up to, their defense is up to Aaron Donald and, that defensive front to get pressure on the quarterback, and pretty much try to close the game. And that's exactly what happened here. The Rams did not, they didn't impress anybody by any stretch, but they did enough to win the ball game. I think Matt Stafford, he played well, well enough to win. I think there was a few throws that he missed. And I think obviously the Odell Beckham injury was a huge turning point in the game. OBJ I think he was about to get off and he was about to have a special Super Bowl. But man, he seemed to, that non-contact knee injury is never good. When it happened, all I could do was just, grit my teeth and just say, man, and just, try to say a prayer for him. But, he didn't end up coming back in the game. And, I think it obviously clearly affected the Rams. It clearly affected their offense and the way Sean McVay was calling the game. I mean, it was frustrating as a football fan. They were not able to run the ball at all. In my prediction video yesterday, the one of the prop bets was Cam Akers 62.5 yards over under. He was well under it. I think his longest run of the game was like 5 yards. I think it was like one of the first 2 or 3 plays of the game. So he was not getting anywhere. None of the running backs were getting anywhere. And the Bengals did a really good job of playing the run. They did a good job of playing the pass as well too. I think it just came down to just a few plays where Stafford and Cooper Kupp are on the same wavelength. Some of those throws in the final Rams drive were absolutely incredible. And those are throws that, if you watch the Rams all season long, those are throws that Stafford only makes to Cooper Kupp because he trusts him so much and they have such a great chemistry. So I think that was really the thing that put the Rams over the top tonight, offensively. Obviously, defensively, you see Aaron Donald, and he really started to play in the second half. The Rams made an adjustment, with they started playing some games up front with the defensive line. They started bringing somebody up the middle, putting him on the center to try to free up Aaron Donald in that it was like a modified like triple team, with the he's lining up on the guard. The tackle is sliding in to help him, and then the center is turning and blocking him as well too. But they started putting somebody on the center, and he was able to get loose a few times in the backfield. Blow up a few plays, got a few sacks. He was absolutely fantastic, and he was everything that he was marketed to be, and it really helped the Rams. Seal this game up. Von Miller was excellent too. He's a guy who's got experience doing this. We seen him do it 5 years ago to Cam Newton and the Panthers in Super Bowl 50. So overall, man, it was just a great game. I really feel sorry for Odell Beckham. I mean, that was just a terrible, terrible, terrible injury to have, especially in the playoffs, especially in the Super Bowl. You know, but the Rams they put it together, and that's the thing about this team. It wasn't pretty, and I think this Rams team, I think this is what sets this Rams team apart from the previous Super Bowl team. Is they were kind of a finesse team somewhat, and they really didn't they didn't play well with their backs up against the wall. But you look at it 3 years later, this team now, the Rams have they pretty much been through the fire all season long. They started off hot and they took a dip, had some really really bad losses. Well, no, not bad losses, but they had some losses to teams that they were kind of measuring stick losses to see where they were at, and they weren't where they needed to be, especially in the middle of the season. But they got on track. Matthew Stafford got out of his slump, and they started playing good football. And I think that is one of the keys, and I think that is one of the biggest indicators of a championship caliber team is how well you play with your back up against the wall, how well you play with adversity. And the Rams played with adversity all season long. They played with adversity all the way up until the final second on the clock tonight. But they responded every single time. They responded like champions, and I think that goes to having a veteran locker room. You look at some of the guys, Andrew Whitworth, and some of the Stafford's a vet. You look at the veteran guys and the veteran leadership that they have in that locker room, and I think that is really one of the biggest indicators of a championship team. And they came out tonight and they really showed it. As for Cincinnati, they have nothing to hang their heads about. They're a very, very young team. This was impressive for the Bengals because they're an incomplete team, to be honest with you. And the fact that they were even in the Super Bowl is really it's just a testament to how well that team gelled, how well they respect Joe Burrow as their leader, and how well they responded to Zach Taylor and the coaching staff as well too. But they're an incomplete team, so they have nothing to hang their heads about. Obviously, getting to the Super Bowl and stuff is never guaranteed, but they are a team that is going to be, they're going to be reckoned with for the foreseeable future. Especially once they rebuild their offensive line. They have so many holes up front in their offensive line. I think they can probably get better at the tight end position as well too. So they have some holes to fill, and defensively they're pretty stout defensively. If they can just get a little bit more depth at the cornerback position, I think in the secondary and maybe some more depth at linebacker, I think they'll be fine. They're going to be fine. They play really smart football on both sides of the ball. They don't do, they never look hurried or flustered or anything like that. They just keep fighting. Even when they go down by a couple of touchdowns, they just keep fighting. They continue to fight. And that's very impressive. And just like I said too, they are a team that plays well with their back against the wall. Both of these teams really had that resilience, and that I think that was very, very impressive. Compared to even compared to the Super Bowl that we seen last year. Once the Bucs started really putting it on the Chiefs, they didn't respond. They were dropping passes. They were pretty much just playing like crap, and they didn't respond. And it got ugly, and they didn't even score a touchdown. Both these teams were the polar opposite. Both of these teams were very, very good leadership, very good fight, and a lot of heart. And I think that's what a lot of people like to see, in these Super Bowl games. There's a lot of teams who are not going to respond that way. When things don't go according to plan. When things get off schedule or whatever. How are you going to respond? And both teams responded really well. The Rams just came out on top. They had just a few more stars, and they made just a few more plays, and just a very, very few more plays. Like, it wasn't a lot, but this was a great game. Just like I said, man, this was a good time for the NFL to really highlight some of the superstars, not just the up and coming superstars, but some of the stars that have been around the league for a while. Just Matthew Stafford is a perfect example. He's been around the league for a while. He's not a household name. He probably will be going forward. But with Tom Brady retiring, and just like I said, the old guard, and Drew Brees is gone, and Phillip Rivers is gone, and all these guys are gone. It's time for the league to market some of the newer stars, some of the newer teams, who are going to be out there competing year in and year out, and who are going to be in the playoff and the Super Bowl contention year in and year out. So I think it was a very, very good outing for the NFL. The halftime show was pretty good. I mean, it was pretty good, all things considered and stuff. So it was a very good showing. I think LA was a pretty good host for the Super Bowl. Everything felt a little bit. Everything felt a little more grand, a little more important, because of LA and because of all the stars and stuff there. And this wasn't a Super Bowl that had a whole lot of stars, but you put the Super Bowl in LA, you put it there, you have everybody. You got LeBron, you got Jennifer Lopez, you got all these huge stars, Jay-Z. They're all walking around the sidelines, up in suites, watching the game. So you kind of put that importance on this game, and you put the importance on showcasing the next generation of stars who are going to be in that spotlight, and are going to be able to continue to have people watch the league, have people watch the games, and have people root for them and stuff. So I think it was a really, really good outing, just for the NFL in general. But yeah, man, definitely congratulations to the Rams. It was a great game. They won it in the fashion that they won these playoff games. They won their last 3 playoff games in a very close manner this way. You take away that Arizona wild card game on that Monday night. If you take that game away, they won. They beat. It came down to the final minute or two against the Bucks. Came down to the final minute or two against the Niners, and came down to the final 30 seconds tonight against the Bengals. So, their team, they play close games. They play well. They do what they have to do to seal the game, and they got out of there with a victory, and they're able to hoist the trophy at their own stadium. So it was a very good game, very, very good game. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Before the game started, I think it was Rodney Harrison. He kind of broke some news, saying that Aaron Donald could possibly retire, if the Rams win tonight. So I think there's going to be something to watch going forward as well too. Obviously Aaron Donald has been one of the best players in the league since he was drafted by the then St. Louis Rams. So that would be interesting. I think this was his 8th year. Was it 8th or 9th year? So he's not a guy who is long in the tooth, as they say. He's still a fairly not necessarily a young player, but he's not old yet. So and obviously he can still dominate a game. He showed that tonight. So that would be interesting to see going forward. That's an interesting storyline. That would be a huge loss for the Rams. That would be huge. That would change the outlook of the NFC West, I think, because he's a guy you got to worry about. He's a guy you got a game plan for. And if he's not there, that's a major component, a major edge that takes that away from the Rams. So I think that's going to be interesting to see going forward. Obviously I'll react to that when more news comes out about that as well too. Also some news before game time as well with the Adrian Peterson situation. He was arrested at LAX and charged with domestic violence, a felony domestic violence for an incident that occurred on the plane with his wife. I didn't really read too much about it. I was prepping for the game and all that stuff, but I'll get more into it later. Possibly make a video about it later. I want to see if some facts come out about the situation. Definitely sounds like a bad situation, but it obviously got overshadowed by the Super Bowl. But we will see what goes on with that. That's going to be very interesting. especially with Adrian Peterson, he's got some skeletons in his closet in the past, with the child abuse stuff and all of that. But we'll see what happens with that's going to be very, very interesting. I think that's going to be something that I make at least one video about, possibly two. But I'm not a hot take person, so I'm gonna wait until more information comes out about it, and then I'll address it from there as the information comes out. But as of right now, the situation doesn't look good and doesn't sound good. But obviously gonna wait for more information to come out before I give my opinion. So there's that. But yeah, man, just wanted to come on here and react to the game. Very good game, very entertaining. Great for the league, and I can't wait for football season to start. We got another 7 months until the NFL season starts. So obviously, I'm gonna transition more into basketball, and if baseball does start up and stuff like that. But great NFL season so far. I mean, overall, just a great season. Both of these teams were not really projected to be in this position in the Super Bowl, but the Rams ended up, taking it. And hopefully you have a Rams futures. Hopefully you got a Rams futures ticket at some point, during the season, so you can cash that in, and you got some money on your hands. But great game. Great game. Congrats to the Rams. Glad to see all the stars get a ring. Stafford, Aaron Donald, Odell Beckham, Cooper Kupp. Glad to see those guys get a ring. They deserve it. Glad to see my man Eric Weddle get a ring. He's a forever Charger, forever a San Diego Charger. So I'm glad to see him get a ring, and it was a good game, good showing overall for the league, and that's pretty much all I got. Like I said, I'll be making more videos as more information comes out about the Adrian Peterson situation. But that's it for now, guys. Hope you enjoyed the game, and good night.